Hello everyone, welcome back to Cross/Game. It has been a week since I put out my last video, and yeah, it garnered some attention. Well, it's not a lot of attention, it's not like it got 1,000,000 views, but compared to my other videos, which only have like 20 to 100 views, this one kind of did what I thought it would do and brought the attention of both sides of the argument. It's mostly disliked, which is fine. It is my opinion. You either love it or hate it, I guess. Not much to take away from there. But it did kind of give me ideas on what my next video should be, which is this one. So, to echo my previous video, I don't have a problem with any how do I put it, the race side of things. Like, I'm not racist, I'm not a bigot, I'm nothing. It's because I see people as humans, and everyone has the same right as me to have a chance at life. Okay, same opportunities. I have no issue with that. You want to have a relationship with same sex, sure, whatever. It just doesn't impact my life in any way, but it does impact how I consume my video games, and therefore I think that there is a way, and it's been done for years, on how to implement these ideas and say, if you want to have a gay character, or if you want to have a sort of situation that involves XYZ, then there's a way of doing it instead of going full ham, like full woke, shove it down your throat sort of woke expression. And I think that, so I've just done a little bit of research, and I've come up with some examples of where the representation side of it, you know, people of colour have been implemented properly. Where it feels natural, I guess, is where I'm trying to get to. Is just everything that I played in these examples comes across as natural. Like, it isn't the point of the character being there in the first place. It's just naturally there's a black hero, or there's a gay character, or there's a lesbian character, or it's just examples of where these things do appear. You know, what could be considered as woke does show up in video games, but it doesn't detract from the experience. Okay, so with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been pretty interesting, to be fair, to dig out these examples and share it with you guys. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and let's get on with the video. So I'll start with probably one of the most recent examples of representation of, say, the LGBTQ community, right? So we'll start with Final Fantasy XVI and the character of Dion. Now, when I was playing Final Fantasy XVI, bearing in mind I play all Final Fantasy games, I didn't know, obviously, what to expect. I knew nothing about the story, and so I definitely didn't know there was going to be a gay character. That's not a problem, to be fair. It doesn't make a difference to me. But it was a case that when he eventually appeared, and as per the cutscene being displayed now on screen, he just acts normally. You don't know any different. He's the icon of Bahamut, and then you realise that there's a lot more to this character, and you become intrigued. Dare I say that a lot of people think, or of the opinion, that Dion is probably the best character or non-player character in Final Fantasy XVI. Some actually prefer him to the actual hero, which is Clive, which is fine. But it's how Square, or the writers, or whoever's responsible for making these decisions and implementing these characters into this game, it's how they did it in a very seamless way. And when it kind of shows that, oh, Dion and his whatever first in command, Sir Lawrence, they have a forbidden love. Basically, they clearly love each other and they want to be with each other, but they can't. So it feels like it's all hidden, which I guess doesn't bode well. But it's done very seamlessly, and it's really interesting to hear them talk and hear how they act it out, how much they care for each other, and how much Sir Terence wants to make sure that Dion is always okay and protected, and only uses Bahamut as a last resort. And they have they share a kiss, but it's done so tastefully. It's something that, to be fair, when it first came on screen, it's like I didn't even flinch. Some people might think, oh, well, I thought it was done so beautifully, and I really appreciated it. If anything, the work behind making sure that relationship comes across on screen very genuinely. Obviously, it is the times, it's like medieval times, and I can imagine that maybe is somewhat an accurate representation of what it was like when these campaigns would last for years, some of them, and the only people you did see were your fellow soldiers. I can imagine that some men would fall in love with each other. They'd create bonds to death, to a point where they die on a battlefield. So you can only imagine what, to a certain point, that this is somewhat true to reality, but it actually comes across very well, and didn't, I thought, yeah, this is brilliant. It's like, I think that some people probably, I don't know, the people that maybe left me negative comments on the last video think that players like myself, or many others out there, when they see this sort of representation in a video game, they think we're just going, oh, for fuck's sake, why are they doing this? And it's not. We applaud it, we appreciate it. If it has actual merit, if it makes the game better, more interesting by incorporating these elements, then so be it. But do it naturally, do it properly. Don't just, oh look, we're here too, and that's not how I want it. That's not how I want to experience my video game. And so if we turn around to the Spider-Man scenario, which I spoke in my last video, it's a whole side quest dedicated. Miles, like Spider-Man, is going to help one guy ask another one to prom. Like, come on, it's just ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense in the context of the story. It's just padding almost. It's like filler, just to make sure that they tick the box. And that's the difference between how to do it properly and how not to do it, I guess. The next example is one that's probably been used time and time again. There are many others, but because I'm a fan, is Barrett Wallace from Final Fantasy VII. All the way to his implementation back in 1997. Whilst Square gets criticised by them making him the stereotypical, loud, swearing black man, well, he's a lot more than that. He's so much more than that. If anything, he is, in the remake, he's probably the main character of the remake. He has the best story arc, and the way he evolves from a man on a mission to this person who's just full of emotion and hate and love, and John, the voice actor was John Bentley. I can't remember his full name now, but he basically delivered one of the most perfect voice acting over Barrett over any other that I've seen in all my gaming career. Okay, and I think that Barrett is my favourite character, because of how they acted him out, because the way he acted him out, he's become my favourite character. He has so more. You get so invested in Barrett over the course of the story in remake. So there's a lot, obviously, spoilers, but obviously a lot happens, and he loses people, and he gets scared that he's lost his daughter. It's just, there's a lot there to look at, to unpack, of how complex of a character Barrett Wallace is. And he might not be the main character, but he sure is. He plays like the main character in Final Fantasy VII. Cloud is just, I think, the representation of the player. You know, you're as oblivious as Cloud when you're playing Final Fantasy VII, and all these other characters just come and enrich your world. And Barrett is one of those key characters, because without Barrett, I don't think Final Fantasy VII would be the same, personally. So Barrett is another great example of implementation of another race, if you want to put it that way, where it just enriches the story, makes it a million times better, and I love him. Like, he's a great character. And lastly, there's so many examples, but lastly, I guess I'll mention another obvious one, and that's Miles Morales. Okay, so sure, a lot of people will think that Miles Morales lives in the shadow of Peter Parker, and now there's 2 Spider-Men, as per the last game, and now Peter Parker's getting retired. I don't know. Some people in the comments on my last video said he's going to get his own game. I don't know, mate. I don't think that's going to happen, but sure. But ultimately, Miles Morales is a character of a different. He's not white, and he's got his own origin story built from the ground up. He is an amazing character, an amazing hero, and I think that the creators really thought about how to make this guy shine, because he had stiff competition. He had the Spider-Man as his kind of competition as far as how popular he could be. So it's a testament to exactly to how good his story really is. And while it does have some similarities to Peter Parker, he's got a lot of heritage, he's got a lot of background. He's half, Puerto Rican and half black, and it's just it just comes across really well in the games and the comics and so on. So he's just another example of how there isn't. I don't think there's a lack of representation of any sort of minority, if you want to put it that way. I don't see it as minorities, but I guess that's what people would say. I think that it's all down to how you do it. And honestly, if you want to be more if you belong to, if you think there should be more people of colour in video games, if you believe that there should be more representation for women or the LGBTQ community, then go out there, go and plead your case. Don't complain about these guys who are doing their job and trying to bring out a video game at the same time, make money out of it. Go and make a game. Go and make a movie. Go and write something. Go and pitch your ideas if you think you want more representation. Because in the end of the day, complaining about and whining about it doesn't help anyone. Okay, clearly none of us out here we will consume as long as it's done properly, which is through the examples I just mentioned. Those games have sold bucket loads, and they had a layer of representation of what people complained that there isn't enough of. Okay, but then it's like the negative side to what I just spoke. Like, for example, Miles Morales as a character is in Spider-Man 2. Again, there's a whole side quest where the end result is a whole spray painted mural about Black Lives Matter.
Oh my fucking god, man. Like, what?
Whoa. Thanks, neighbors.
Type of whack ass shit. Look at this whack ass shit. Like, they fucking, like, that was their excuse to try to throw that in there, right? Was some fucking random, hey, thank you, Black Lives Matter. Like, what? Oh my god, man. Fucking dog shit ass. So I had to get the ANCAP.
No. You shouldn't use a popular IP like Spider-Man, like a Spider-Man game, and shove this politic, this woke rubbish into the game. It's like, that's not, someone in the comments in my last video also said, oh, you know, why would they not put it in if you're going to buy it anyway? We're buying it, but we don't know it's in there. We don't expect this to happen. It's only when we play it and we experience it and we go, oh, for crying out loud, guys. Like, really? You know, it's almost borderline disrespectful to some people. It just relegates them to diss. And for me, everyone, we're all human beings. We're all different and we're all the same at the same time. We're complex characters. We don't just get relegated to you're black, you're white, you're brown, you're gay, you're straight, you're, you know, just categorizing human beings like different shades of colour is ridiculous. Okay, and I get it's very simple me saying this out loud on a video, but all this that I'm talking about, these are social political issues that do not, I repeat, do not belong in video games that I'm consuming, that I'm paying money for. Okay, we know there's a grander conspiracy out there. Is it ESG scores? Is that what they're calling it? I don't know anymore what the hell's going on. But there's perfectly good examples out there of businesses like Disney who have put money. You know, they've bet on this woke culture, pandering, as South Park says, and they're losing. They're losing billions. Okay, so it is all going to end. This will pass eventually because money always wins. Okay, they'll want to make money, and clearly when they're targeting these demographics and trying to be inclusive and being all woke and stuff, it's not helping. It's not helping the companies, it's not helping the shareholders who want to make money. So ultimately the only way to make money is to keep your customers happy, while it's keeping some of the demographics happy because they're being represented. From what I can see, either there isn't enough of them, or they're just not going out there to buy the product, even though they're represented in the product. So that equals money loss. There we go. I think, anyway, this is going on nearly at 20 minutes now, so I don't think I need to keep going on about it. I just wanted to share, you know, 3 examples of me that I played video games and it didn't, I don't see, oh, they added this, brilliant, clap, clap, clap. Like, I don't see it. Okay, I play a video game to escape from reality. I don't play a video game to be reminded of reality. Okay, especially things that I think are not even a problem, you know, half the time. To quote one of my heroes, Morgan Freeman, just stop talking about it. In any case, please like, share and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed my videos. If you agree, you know, put a comment down. If you don't, put a comment down. I can probably expect that maybe this video, however I title it, is going to get a lot of dislikes. But again, it's my opinion. And all I want, guys, is to play video games. I want to keep woke politics, woke nonsense out of video games, especially the ones that I play. Because, God forbid, Final Fantasy, you know, God forbid, the Japanese get their teeth into this and start, it's not going to happen. I don't think they're affected by ESG scores, I don't know. But I just don't want to see this in video games. I'd really just like to entertain, you know, just buy a game and play it for what it is. I'm playing Returnal, by the way, right now. Great game. Review coming at some point in the future. Should have played it sooner. Such a great game. In any case, guys, thank you for listening to me for this long. Sorry it's gone on for too long now. But I will be back with another video, and yeah, put some comments down. Please like, share and subscribe, and depending on what, you know, give me some ideas. I'm happy to put my opinion on whatever you guys have to say, whatever you guys suggest. I mean, take care. Bye.